According to White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, there is only one person in this country who deserves credit for the fact that the coronavirus vaccines are coming along at an absolutely unprecedented rate. In the past, the earliest a vaccine had ever made it from development to implementation was 4 years. Typically, they take 10 years. This one's going to be coming out right at about a year after this virus was first prevalent in a human population. And Kayleigh McEnany yesterday during a press briefing said that the credit lay not with the scientists. It lays not with the taxpayers who funded the research. No, ladies and gentlemen, all credit for this virus goes to Donald Trump, and that it is, in fact, the Trump vaccine. Here is Kayleigh McEnany in her own words. Take a look.
It allows it to, and we will have 40 million doses by the end of the year, which is a tremendous achievement, not just to have gotten a vaccine in this time, but to have produced 40 million in advance. It's having a businessman as president. It's the Trump vaccine. Yes.
Now, I'm sure most Americans would actually love to be able to take a Trump vaccine and then we'd never be subjected to him ever again, right? That's how vaccines work, like a flu vaccine. We need a Trump vaccine, as Kayleigh McEnany calls it. But as for the COVID vaccine, Trump didn't do anything. He really didn't. You know, Republicans are still scratching their heads as to why Obama won a Nobel Prize, and yet they're all willing to give credit to Donald Trump for a vaccine that he literally was not involved in any of the development for. Like, how many tests, how many double-blind studies was Donald Trump running? Right? How much data was he looking through and comparing the results? What hypotheses did he put forward as part of his scientific analysis? Kayleigh, can you tell us that? Can you tell us what his involvement was? I mean, some of these companies that actually developed some of the vaccines, they didn't even take any money from Operation Warp Speed. And the other ones who did, please understand, none of them needed it. None of them needed it. We're talking about corporations that price gouge Americans so badly that they make tens of billions of dollars per year. Yeah, they didn't need us to shovel a couple more billion to them to be able to develop a vaccine. It wasn't the money that was holding them back. Trump had nothing to do with this. He wasn't even going to the meetings where they were talking about these things. He wasn't involved. But of course, like everything else in his life, if it happens near him, he's going to try to steal the credit for it. And this will be something he does for the rest of his life. For the rest of his miserable existence on this planet, Donald Trump is going to work overtime to convince the American public that he is in fact the person who came up with the vaccine, that it is all because of him, that once this pandemic is eventually eradicated, it will be because of what he did. On the other side, the more than 250,000 people dead, hey, that's not his fault. That's the governors, that's the mayors, that's the cities, that's those damn Democrat-run cities doing those things. Antifa was probably somehow involved in it, maybe. Who knows? But that's definitely not his fault. Nope. But the vaccine that he had nothing to do with, yep, that's all him, baby. And that is how the Republican brain works.